Hi, I'm Daren.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Rich.
And welcome to another episode of 3 Foot Good. It's been a while.
It has.
In this episode, we're going to deal with tournament prep for the game Freeblades.
That's right. So Adepticon's coming.
It is. It is.
So we're going to kind of give you guys some tips and pointers on what to do to prepare for a Freeblades tournament. Now we're going to tailor this to more of a big convention style tournament.
So the first thing, read the rules. Yeah, yeah. That's the first thing you want to do is you want to read the rule. And the second thing you want to do
is read the rules.
Yeah, you want to do that again. The designers of Freeblades are awesome, and they will allow you to play the game if you've only
demoed it the night before.
Yeah, that happened.
That happened at Adepticon.
Yeah, at Adepticon. But for you, so you're comfortable, you should read the rules. You should know how to play the game fairly well when you go away to a big event.
And hand in hand with that of knowing the rules is know your list.
Yes.
Practice your list.
Right.
Don't change it the night before the tournament. Lenny.
Yeah, Lenny. Yeah.
No, so know your list and practice it. You should, if you are going to Adepticon, if you're planning to go to Adepticon in March, you should probably have your list and be practicing it now. Handle. Oh,
play the objectives.
Yes. So with practicing your list,
yeah,
you need to play all of the scenarios. Don't just play one or two, unless it's. Sometimes the tournament will tell you what scenarios you're playing. Then play those scenarios. Yeah. Obviously, if you don't know what scenarios are, or they're keeping it a secret, you need to play and have a plan for all of the scenarios that can be there. Yeah. So don't just be like, oh, it's only going to be skirmish game, so I'm just going to just play the skirmish and I just have to kill my opponent. Because then you're going to lose when it's, no, you have to go do these trials. And you don't know how to do that, and you don't do it right, and your opponent crushes you.
Yeah, tunnel vision at home, in your local game store can be really easy, where you're just, you kind of forget about the objectives and you're playing against your opponent. Keep in mind that a lot of games, like Freeblades, are objective based. You win the game by winning the objective. And so don't get the tunnel vision where I want to kill that, commander because
I want to kill that Khazar because they're Khazarics.
Yeah, because they're Khazarics and they have Die Hard and I just want to kill them. But
that's fine.
Yeah, don't do Daren. Find the objectives, go after the objectives, concentrate on the objectives.
Yes.
And that'll help you also. So
the other thing that's very important is you need to double check tournament requirements. Now this could be the convention where it's being held. Adepticon has a 3 paint minimum. I don't know how strictly that's enforced, but it is a requirement for all of the tournaments at Adepticon to have at least 3 colors on your mini. The actual tournament, your event you're going to, might have other specific requirements, like, I don't know, the point size or the gold cost. Lenny, make sure you know this before the night before. The other thing that's always good, even if it's not required, is to bring a printed list that you're playing.
Yeah, that way you can at least, it helps you a little bit, kind of remember what's going on, and your opponent, you can kind of hand it to your opponent before the game. Your opponent can then look at it, check it out, see what's going on.
Don't some tournaments require printed lists?
Yeah, and that goes to the tournament requirements. Some tournaments require 3, one for you, one for your opponent, and one for the tournament.
You would need one to turn in for the organizer, and then one for each opponent that they get to keep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they can,
so then they can look back and be like, wow, this is what really crushed me. Mm-hmm. Or have all of your accessories.
Yes.
Double check before, if you are traveling the night before you leave, make sure the bag is already packed and ready to go. Yeah. You should not be practicing your list the night before you're leaving.
No. Right. And accessories for this game,
tokens
or tokens,
templates,
dice.
If you're bringing an artifact, you need the card. If you want to bring the cool little character sheets they have, or the summary. The summary is an awesome tool to take to a tournament because it's all on one page and it's right there.
And the character sheets are awesome too to lay out to help you remember everything.
Right.
I use them myself just so
they take up more space, so sometimes space can be an issue depending on how crammed the tournament is. But again,
but if you know your list,
right. then you don't need that.
You won't reference it all that much, but yeah. So those bring all of that, all that stuff. If there is a, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to move to the next point I want to make, and I'm already laughing. So.
Oh, okay, all right. Go ahead. Jump
Well,
in.
I mean, you should really show up early or on time.
At least on time.
Lenny?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're seeing a theme here.
There's a theme.
Yes. But seriously, if you have to check in at an event, especially at an Adepticon or a Gen Con or something along those lines, you're going to want to get there early because it's not just going to be a walk up and go. There will probably be a line. Also, the tournament organizer likes people to show up early because then they can get a better count of, well, I had this many people sign up, how many people are showing up? Because not all the time will everybody that signs up show up.
Right. There may be drops, like if you're in Vegas and you get really, really drunk and you don't make it the next day.
Right, because you're at the Las Vegas Open. I mean,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
it happens.
It does. Or
But,
we
you know,
could be in Chicago and drink all night at the hotel.
Eat a whole bunch of Chicago-style pizza. I mean,
not feel good the next day.
Yeah. The other thing you need to prepare for is how you're going to transport your mini. You need a way of going from table to table in between the rounds.
And the idea behind that is so you're not taking everything and packing it away in a miniature carrying box and then going to the next and then unpacking it all, because these are timed events, and
Yes.
then in between everything is kind of a timed event, and so you want to make it kind of quick and efficient for you.
Yep.
So there are a few things you can do, and it's really simple. Some people use like cookie sheets.
Yep.
And
I use cookie sheets because I love the cookie sheets because I can put a magnet on the bottom of my base. And now it's not going to shift and fall over. I can carry it. If I get a little wobbsy because somebody bumps into me at a con, my guys aren't going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
They're going to stay put.
And just, I mean, for something like this, just a lid.
A lid to a Sterilite.
Yeah, to the stuff that you brought everything in is something as simple as that. For bigger stuff, for bigger armies, bigger games.
If you're doing like a free captains, I believe is what they call their bigger, larger scale game.
Something like this. Or if you really want to get fancy.
Oh yeah, here it comes, guys.
Yeah, something like this. So a little router at work at one time. So then it can take all your accessories and
tokens, and
all that stuff,
place for
and then
dice,
place for rolling dice and that kind of stuff. So there are some also that make dioramas and display boards, and then they move them from place to place, and some of that is gorgeous. If you can find some of that, those guys are really talented and have a lot more time than we do.
If you want to do
if
that,
there's ever a place to find that, it's Adepticon.
Absolutely.
Just remember that you have to still play at the table, so the board's gonna have to go somewhere while you're playing.
Yeah, and that's why I go with a little simpler, because I can put it underneath the table if it gets kicked around or something like that. It doesn't bother me all that much.
The other thing for Freeblades, and this is more generic tournament stuff, but again, it's also good to know about Freeblades. 1, wear comfortable shoes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You're going to be on your feet for most of the day in these tournaments. There may or may not be chairs. Usually there's chairs. The chairs probably are not going to be all that comfortable. So wear comfortable shoes. Have snacks. There will usually be a lunch break if it's an all-day tournament. But again, you may not like the food you can get in the time you have. So bring snacks.
And lunch breaks will happen about the same time, so there's going to be a great big line. And depending on what place you go, when you're playing, it may cost you $12 for a slice of pizza.
Yep. And you might have to wait 20 to 30 minutes to get it.
Yeah. So there's, so bring snacks if you can.
And then
keep hydrated.
Yes.
Yeah,
Water.
Yeah.
If the place has alcohol, you do you. But you don't want to get
I wouldn't suggest it.
I'm not going to stop somebody from doing
I'm not going to judge. I have no room to judge.
Right. But water, Powerades, Gatorades, that you want to stay hydrated. You don't want to be on the final round playing at the top table and having a headache because you haven't drank enough and you're dehydrated because you didn't bring anything to drink.
Right.
I don't believe.
Shower that.
Yeah. I mean.
And don't try to cover up. How do I say this without? I'm going to offend somebody. Don't take a Polish shower by spraying yourself full of cologne.
Yes. Because nobody wants to smell that either. I mean, help your opponent with the rules. This game is not ultra super competitive. There is no $20,000 on the line. Freeblades is a very fun game to play. Help your opponent with the rules. Do not, though, and this is going to be a fine line, do not bother them while they are doing their stuff. If they have a question and they're trying to look it up, offer to help if you know the answer to the rule. You know, hey, just make sure they realize, my guy can do this to you. You may not want to go there. Help them with the rules. You don't want to blindside your opponent, especially if it's a newer opponent.
Also, when your opponent is moving, pre-plan your moves. So you're not... So when they're moving, you have an idea already where you're going to go and what you're going to do. That way you're not waiting... they're not waiting for you to move after you've already planned everything
So that you're
out.
not holding up the game.
Yeah, so you're not holding up the game.
The game will be timed.
These games, you've got a limited amount of time, so the games are timed, and you are looking to get... you don't have to rush, but you want to get as much in...
You want the game to finish, not be called on time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're getting the opportunity to play 3 or 4 games against a bunch of people you've never met before on some pretty incredible terrain usually that you don't get a chance to play on. I know around here, probably around any place, you end up playing the same people with the same lists and the same armies and the same factions.
Your local meta.
Your local meta, and you play that a lot. The neat part is when you get out and you get to play at a tournament and you see all kinds of new stuff and some incredible different ideas for painting and there's some
tactics.
Different ways to use stuff. There have been a few times where oh wow, that is so cool. I'm going to use that at home because they've never seen this before. I'm going to blow somebody's mind. So there's a lot of fun that can be had other than just winning. A lot that you can. I've been to tournaments and gotten lessons. I mean, not a loss, a lesson on how to play a game or how to run a particular force.
And you're going to meet other people in this community. You may have talked on the Facebook group with them because again, this is a fairly closed-knit community. This isn't huge by any means. So again, don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
That could be number one. Don't be a dick. So if you go there with the right attitude, you're going to have fun. If you go there expecting to win or thinking that you should win every game, I'm telling you, man, ones are on everybody's dice. No matter how good you are, ones are on everybody's die.
Yes, they are.
You can target a roll.
You can touch a parry roll and then die.
Yeah, multiple.
Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, multiple rolls. And so go there.
So on that note, just bring a good die roller with you. Like, I brought my son. I mean,
and he rolled dice for you. And
he rolled the dice for me and can roll dice. So
is he doing anything for Vegas? I know. I'm not doing anything great. He just won't miss for me. That's
true story.
At any of the tournaments, there's so many other hobbies to be infected with, and the paint jobs and the scenery. Every time I go to a tournament, I see something on a table and go, I could do that. That looks really cool. Or man, I want to do that. That's and if I ever have the time, if I ever have the time, it's going to be amazing.
Or you see something on a table and you go, where do I buy that downstairs in the game room?
Where do I find that? Spending money is really easy at a convention.
But we are getting off topic because we're supposed to be prepping for a Freeblades tournament, not talking about Adepticon.
Well, I was talking about any tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is the generic tournament stuff.
Okay.
The generic tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
So remember, I can edit.
He does too.
He's a wizard.
Yeah. So I guess.
Don't be a dick. Read the rules.
Yeah.
Then go read them again.
Yeah. Know your list. Practice your list. And that will help with the whole winning thing or having better games. Knowing your list and practicing your list.
Don't chase what you think or you just saw was, oh my gosh, this person's doing this.
Don't meta chase.
I mean, there's not really a meta in Freeblades, which is good.
Which is fine, yeah.
But just, if you play your list and you know your list, you're going to do fine. You're going to know how to. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
A couple of months. Rich will edit out all the garbage. And,
Right.
Yep.
Or you won't. He'll add at the end.
Yeah,
Either or.
yeah, I hope.
But I guess just get out there and roll the dice.
There you go.